people off of the street, get them stabilized, and get them into permanent housing. Hundreds in the district that I represent, with more to come. We've created new programs to keep people housed, like the Landlord Engagement Assistant Program to incentivize landlords and keep rents lower. Behavioral health has invested in more supports than ever before, and we cannot talk about homelessness without addressing behavioral health. We have more teams than ever that are connecting to people who are in encampments. Those teams are made up of social workers, rehousing navigators, and licensed clinicians. And they often are in these encampments shoulder to shoulder with our city county counterparts. We have, as Lisa said, embarked upon over the years a program, a partnership with the city of Sacramento like there's never been one before, because we recognize that pointing fingers does not lead us to success. Pointing fingers and scapegoating will not get people off the street. Only working together will. Look, years ago, there were many electeds that would say, oh, this problem's going to be solved in the next couple of years. Well, I knew that wasn't the case. This took us generations to get to where we are today. And it's taking all of these investments to get to where the point-in-time count is. However, make no mistake, at the county, we're not just throwing money at a problem. While we are making significant financial investments, the decisions that we are making are scientifically based, data-driven, and we're utilizing our learned experience. And I'm confident that if we stay down this road, 2 years from now, we will be here talking about another decrease in the point-in-time count. This is truly a good day. It's an exciting day in many ways, but it's also a somber day, because while we are down 29%, we still have 6,000 people living in homelessness. So we have to keep our eye on the ball, we have to remain vigilant, and we have to continue our partnerships that we have formed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor Kennedy, and for that reminder that we need to keep our eye on the ball and be very vigilant in continuing to see these decreases happen. It is now my honor to introduce to you the Mayor of Sacramento, Steinberg. Our mayor has been a lifetime leader, a public servant dedicated to improving the lives of many. And I also have a story that's going to show our age about the mayor as well. I first met Mayor Steinberg when he was an incoming council member at a Tahoe Park tree planting event, of all things, while I was working as an intern for another council member. And I remember him asking me what my major was, because I was still in college, and my answer was international relations. And I recall his answer today still. He responded jokingly, well, that's no small undertaking. And I think that really sums up our mayor, a mayor willing to tackle the largest and most vexing issues of our time. He's never given up on addressing the humanitarian crisis of homelessness and mental health. During his time at the legislature, Steinberg authored Proposition 63, the Mental Health Services Act, which created a tax on millionaires to fund mental health services. MHSA is now a primary source of funding to provide behavioral health care and housing to our unhoused Californians. As a mayor, he's secured significant new resources to tackle difficult problems such as homelessness and economic inequality. He campaigned for and won voter passage of Measure U, a new 1-cent sales tax, with the goal of investing in economic development, youth, and affordable housing. As a leader of the California big city mayors, he successfully negotiated with not one, but two governors, Governor Brown and Newsom, to make unprecedented statewide commitment to addressing homelessness that has brought millions of dollars to Sacramento region. He's a huge advocate for updating these funds and using them for housing as well as behavioral health services. And as a long-term resident of Sacramento region, having lived in Elk Grove, the city of Sacramento, and now the county, I wish to thank Mayor Steinberg for your long and lasting contributions as a leader and your unrelenting push to do whatever it takes to bring people off the street into safety for this region.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lisa. I know sometimes that unrelenting push has annoyed people too. Um, but all in pursuit of a good cause. There are so many thank yous here because this is and has been and will continue to be an incredible team effort. Let me thank Patrick Kennedy, the chair of the County Board of Supervisors, all the members, and your incredible staff for your hard work and for partnering with us, your city partners, especially, always, but especially over these last couple of years as we have worked so hard together to achieve these results. Thank you. We couldn't do it without you. I want to thank my colleagues who are standing with me here because this, in every district of our city, this is the top priority. And my colleagues have worked unrelentingly in their districts and citywide to help bring us to this day. And so to Katie Valenzuela, who's represented the Central City, where it has been especially hard, thank you for believing and never giving up. Rick Jennings, thank you. Coach, for always being not only the voice of reason to helping bring us together, and Eric Guetta as well. Look what's happening in South Sacramento along Stockton Boulevard, in part because of your and Supervisor Kennedy's leadership and my other colleagues who wanted to be here today. Councilmember Kaplan and Councilmember Tao and Vice Mayor Maple and Councilmember Talamantes and Councilmember Vang. Am I leaving anybody out? I think I got it. Whew. And to our incredible city staff, because you talk about partnership, it's partnership between the city and county. It's also partnership between the elected officials and our appointed officials, led by our great city manager, Howard Chan, our police chief, Kathy Lester, our assistant city manager who drew the short lot in terms of his portfolio here, Mario Lara, and the head of the Department of Community Response, Brian Pedro, and your entire DCR team. A thank you to SHRA. I see Christine Weichert is here because they've been a big part of all of this as well. And to my team, my staff, Mary Lynn Valinga, and everyone who has worked so hard on this issue with me over the last 7 years. And Lisa, to you in Sacramento Steps Forward, you have and continue to be the glue here. Because it's not just about the capacity, it's about the systems changes, and thank you. And to our providers represented here, thank you, because, we appropriate the money and we do the policy, but you are the ones on the front lines that are actually doing the work, that are bringing people in, that are treating people, and that are helping them. And so a big debt of gratitude to all of our providers. And to all who have been deeply engaged in this 7-year fight to make homelessness better. As Supervisor Kennedy said, today is not a declaration of victory, but it does represent major progress. Maybe homelessness is not so intractable after all. A 41% reduction, and that's the number I like to lead with, in unsheltered homelessness is dramatic, and it affirms that our community is headed in the right direction on the most heartbreaking and difficult issue of our time. There are many reasons for this astounding result. For 7 grueling years, the city and the county have sometimes struggled, that's no secret, but have steadily built the capacity to be able to offer more people a safe and a dignified choice, shelter and housing, and the services that so many people need. The most important numbers in this report may not be the headline of 41% reduction or 29% overall reduction in homelessness. It's the following numbers that the doctor alluded to earlier that make the 41% number possible. An 84% increase since 2020 in the number of shelter and traditional housing beds in the city and county, from 1,611 to 3,527. A 25% increase in rapid rehousing slots, a 30% increase in permanent housing slots, over 1,000 units additional since 2020, a 68% increase in the number of people sheltered between 2020 and 2023, 7,360 people sheltered in 2023 alone, a 39% increase in permanent housing placements since 2022. And this one really got me. A 45% reduction in the number of chronically homeless people since 2022. Almost a 50% decrease. Wow. Without declaring victory, because as Supervisor Kennedy said, there are still too many people on our streets. And as Lisa Bates said, until homelessness is both brief and rare, we can't have a full celebration. But these numbers and the people they represent is worth celebrating. We must not let up. I know I won't in my remaining months, and neither will the colleagues standing behind me, both the elected officials and the staff. We must continue to strengthen this groundbreaking partnership between the city and the county to ensure that more people get the shelter, the housing, and the services that so many desperately need. Finally, a personal reflection, if I might, for a moment. There have been many critics and many doubters over these tough 7 years. Years, of course, which included a once-in-a-century pandemic and a national affordable housing crisis. Critics and doubters come with the territory. It's what we all signed up for. Today's news, I hope, teaches us all some very important lessons. It is the work that matters. In fact, it's the only thing that matters. The easy solutions, whether they be lawsuits or initiatives, largely born out of frustration and sometimes the politics of anger, do not create a single bed, a single housing unit, a single treatment plan, nor a single broken up encampment. Success requires setting a vision. It requires collaboration, and it requires endless persistence through all of the ups and downs and all of the noise. Only those qualities and those commitments will bring us more results like the results we are happily reporting today. There are more people to help. There are more neighborhoods and business corridors who need relief. I remember saying 7 years ago that if we committed to a consistent course of action, it might take some time, but that homelessness need not be hopelessness. I believe that 7 years ago, and I believe that even more today. Thank you to all who helped make this day happen.
Thank you, Mayor Steinberg. We do want to conclude with having one more guest come up and speak. And I think it's important that we all know why we're here and why we're doing this hard work. And so I'd like to introduce to you to Chera Jones, who's a 22-year-old resident of Sacramento Central Studios. And she's here to tell you a little bit about her story and how she came to become a resident here in this complex.
Hi. Tashira Jones. I'm 22 years old, speaking today to express my deepest gratitude for the support and assistance provided to me during a particularly
Ken, you gotta put the mic right there.
Oh,
There
sorry.
you go. You're good. Step right on up. You're good. You're good.
Do I have to start over?
Start over, sure, because we want to hear every word. Go ahead.
Hi, you guys. My name is Tashira Jones. I'm 22 years old, speaking today to express my deepest gratitude for the support and assistance provided to me during a particularly difficult chapter in my life. At 19 years old, due to struggles at home, I found myself in a dire situation where I was homeless on the streets of Sacramento, trying to make ends meet while sleeping in my car with my loyal companion, my dog. In a daunting period of uncertainty and vulnerability, and I felt lost and alone in the vast city. However, fate took a turn when I was connected with Win Youth. They promptly linked me with a vital services aimed to helping me regain my footing and rebuilding my life. After a year of unwavering support and guidance from the dedicated team at Win Youth, I was blessed with the support to move into Central Sacramento Studios, a place that has since become not just a roof over my head, but a significant stepping stone towards a brighter future. I wish to extend my heartfelt appreciation to my compassionate case managers at Life Steps, Ms. Shira and Mr. Xavier, and the exceptional property management whose unwavering availability and attentiveness has made a world difference in my journey. Their willingness to lend an ear, offer guidance, and swiftly address my concerns I have had instilled has instilled in me since a sense of security and belonging. The remarkable staff members handpicked by Miss Alex, regional manager, exhibited unparalleled levels of empathy and dedication, always ready to assist residents in navigating any challenges they may have. In this newfound sanctuary, I feel not just safe, but truly at home, surrounded by a supportive community and that genuinely cares about me. I am profoundly grateful to the city for spearheading such a transformative project that offers a lifeline to individuals like me who simply require an extra hand to navigate through turbulent times.
Thank you, Tashira. You are really the reason why we do this work, and I think this is a good reminder to us all that we should never forget or give up on people as we are doing this very important work. It's also a reminder of how much commitment we have within our community with our community-based organizations and the support that they're able to provide people on a daily basis. I just want to conclude by again thanking everyone and the wonderful work that has been done to date. We know that this is not a sprint, as the mayor said. We have to invest in the actual work and do the work. And sometimes it's challenging and hard, but if we stay focused on the vision, which I will say is now your regional regional coordinated homelessness action plan, that's the vision with 55 actions contained in it. We need to stay accountable to that work. We need to continue to invest at all levels. Hopefully the state will continue investing, but certainly the federal and our local budgets as well. And with that, be happy to moderate for a few questions, Q&A, and then individuals can be available after. So at this point, we're available for questions.
Just for anyone, any comments on the fact that out on the streets we still see a lot of encampments and it doesn't always feel like the count's going down? Any comments on that?
Repeat the question.
The question is, there still appears to be some visibility of people who are unsheltered, and how does that relate to the point-in-time count?
Well, as I said, today is not a declaration of victory. It represents significant progress, but there's still a long way to go. And so long as there are any encampments on the streets in our city and or our county, we have to have the same intensity, the same commitment, the same level of resources. We're in the middle of a budget negotiation now over at the Capitol around the homeless assistance program known as HAP, and we're hoping for the sixth round for $1 billion so that we can sustain the number of beds we have and hopefully find more resources to be able to grow them. But the work isn't done. That's the answer.
Sorry, what I meant more eloquently is
Okay.
what about the people who think giving a count is not accurate because of what they're seeing in the streets?
Well, I trust in Lisa Bates and Sacramento Steps Forward in the same way that I had to reluctantly agree with the count when it went up. I mean, you know, you live with the tough news, and you celebrate the good news and the progress. And the methodology is sound, and there's no question. You know, I know that people, because we hear a lot. One of the things we hear now is that things feel a little bit better on the streets, that the encampments are a little less, and so that reflects some of the public sentiment as well.
And similar to what Teresa asked, but just for, say, the business community, which has come forward with news conferences similarly
Yeah.
attended.
I want to take this one.
Yeah. Come forward and say,
You know.
that not enough is being done.
Okay.
On behalf of
So you know, there's a thing we always talk about, a thought bubble, right? Which is what you're thinking, and maybe you shouldn't always say what you're thinking. So I won't. Instead, I will say the following. The business community needs to be more of the solution. Complaining only gets us so far. That's what I referred to earlier when I talked about initiatives and lawsuits. It's a lot of noise. In the meantime, the people here are doing a lot of work that's adding thousands of beds to the city and county's capacity, that's allowing us to give people a choice and bring more people in. Don't complain without a solution. And by the way, it is not a good thing for the city, and especially civic leaders, and the business leadership are civic leaders, to constantly be tearing down the city and the county. It's not a good thing. Come downtown on the weekends here. Look at all the music festivals. Look at all the good times. Look at how hard it is to get a reservation, to get to sit down at one of our great restaurants. Start talking up this city. We're not ignoring the problems. Are you kidding me? We've spent nothing but most of a decade working on this, and we're making progress. Be part of the solution. I don't want to hear, and I don't think my colleagues want to hear complaints that don't come with what you would do differently to make it better. And I hope that today there might be a tweet or two or an email or two that says, hey, good work, everybody. We may be actually going in the right direction. Enough.
So I know we started late, and I think we can go ahead probably and conclude, and we're all available for individual questions and interviews. Thank you. Appreciate you being here.